Hey guys, welcome back. I want to once again thank you guys for the support on my last two videos, and I hope that you guys continue to enjoy the content I'm going to make. Today, I'm going to discuss a topic that many people have given different thoughts on. How will Cersei Lannister die? It is a given at this point that she will not survive to the end. But how will she die is a topic of serious debate, and I'm going to give 3 theories of mine that I truly believe can happen. Without further ado, let's get into it. First, we have to understand where the basis of my theories come from. As a child, on the night before her arranged marriage to Prince Rhaegar Targaryen, Cersei and her friend Melara Heatherstone went into the woods in search of Maggie the Witch. When they found her, Maggie demanded that they leave her hut, but Cersei threatened to have her tortured because Maggie was on her father's land near Casterly Rock. I want to clarify that in the books, she actually lived in Lannisport and was part of a family in Lannisport, but it all comes out the same. Maggie reluctantly allowed her to stay and requested that Cersei cut herself so that Maggie could taste her blood for her blood magic ritual. Maggie then told Cersei she could ask her 3 questions, but warned her that she would not like the answers. The first question was whether Rhaegar Targaryen and Cersei would be wed. Maggie answered that Cersei would not wed the prince, but she would wed the king. Cersei took this as Rhaegar and her would be married, but not until he was king. In reality, her king was Robert Baratheon, a king that she would grow to hate and eventually indirectly murder. The second question was to confirm that she'd be queen, and Maggie confirmed that she in fact would be queen someday. The twist being that Maggie said that she'd be dethroned by another younger, more beautiful queen, who would take all that she held dear. Her third question was whether her and the king would have children, and once again, Maggie deceived Cersei by saying the king will have 16 in the books and 20 in the show. But Cersei will only have 3, and their crowns will be gold and so will their shrouds, insinuating that she lived to see them die. And after that, when her tears have drowned her, the Valonqar, or little brother, shall wrap his hands around her pale white throat and choke the life from her. Now it is important to point out before I dive into this, that this final piece about the Valonqar was not included in the TV series, and this may mean that it is not part of the show prophecy at all. Also of note, Maggie told Melara that she would die that night, and it is rumored that Cersei pushed her and was responsible for her death to keep the prophecy intact. Now into my first theory. My first theory is the one that I'm least confident in. The theory is that Cersei will not be killed because of the Valonqar prophecy, but is killed by either Arya fulfilling her list or Dany burning down the Red Keep with Cersei inside. Now the reason I'm least confident in it is because I firmly believe that it is fitting for Cersei to be killed her brother, whichever one that may be. But because the show did not include the Valonqar, I felt obligated to have a scenario where her brothers are not directly involved. So let's begin with Arya killing Cersei. This could happen a number of ways, but the most likely is that Arya will use her faces to sneak into King's Landing. There are a couple of valid candidates to be faces for Arya. The first is Littlefinger. Although he is now a known enemy of Cersei, Arya could organize Cersei to believe that he is playing Sansa in the north, but now he wants to help Cersei. This is believable because he has done it before, and was a member of the small council when Cersei's son, Joffrey, was king. If she could infiltrate the Red Keep, could get a meeting with Cersei one-on-one, she could reveal herself, in a similar way to her killing of Walder. Cersei's reaction would be that of utter shock, just like the Mad King when he was struck down by Cersei's brother, Jaime Lannister. Now the second part of this theory is that it could be Dany who ends Cersei's reign. The way I see this going down is with Cersei losing her army and everything else she cares about, maybe even Jaime, to the White Walkers. She would be in the same reckless mindset that the Mad King was, and may even order King's Landing to be burnt down, just as the Mad King had. If Dany gets wind of this, she could ride Drogon to the Red Keep, and as Cersei orders the city to be burned down, Dany does what she needs to do to save the populace of King's Landing, and burns the Red Keep to the ground with Cersei inside. This could also fulfill the vision of the dragon flying over King's Landing, as this would be definitely taking place after the war is won with the Night King, and it is possible that winter may subside with the White Walkers, and then the summer-looking King's Landing we saw in the vision would be possible. Now on to my 2 more plausible theories. The first is that the Valonqar prophecy is more figurative than literal when it comes to the hands around the neck quote. This could be the final battle between the North and Dany and the Lannisters, where Cersei's army is destroyed at the neck at the hands of her enemies, because of the strategy of her Valonqar, Tyrion. This could result in Cersei being surrounded if she for some reason decides to travel with her army and be killed. It could also be the final straw that causes her to go insane, and possibly successfully burn King's Landing down with her, killing her. It would be her figuratively having the life choked out of her because of her brother's strategy. This would be the same place that the Targaryen rule was usurped, and could be the same place that it is retained if they fight at the Trident. This would certainly be fitting, and would stick with the theme of revisiting historic sites such as when Dany landed in Dragonstone. My last theory is certainly my favorite, and would be the sweetest to see. This is the theory that either Jaime or Tyrion personally chokes Cersei to death. This could happen a number of ways. The first is that Jaime somehow survives and returns to King's Landing to help her sister, and her sister has fallen even further into insanity, and resembles the Mad King that Jaime had slain so many years before. If you noticed, Cersei's resemblance of the Mad King is also a belief that I have. She fits the bill of a character like the Mad King, who has slowly dipped further into insanity, with her torture tactics like the Mad King, and her seclusion from the rest of the realm, and her loss of her children. History seems to repeat itself, as I mentioned before, and this would just be another of the numerous examples of it happening. But back to the theory. Jaime may end her reign by choking her with his only remaining working hand to save the people of Westeros from Cersei's evolving lunacy. He could also be either convinced or forced to use his love relationship with Cersei to try and broker a more peaceful transition of power, and once again realize that she is a lost cause, and choke her to death. Tyrion could also be the one to choke the life from her. He could be with the armies of the Targaryens as they storm King's Landing, and he could be the first one to the Red Keep. He could have one final conversation with his sister, when he lets his hate get the best of him, and he chokes her to death for everything that she put him through. These are just a few thoughts that I had on how we could see the tyrannical leadership of Cersei ended. There are many other theories out there that could be true, but these were the ones that I saw most plausible. If you guys enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe to let me know how you guys are enjoying these videos. I'll see you guys in the next video.